Hello and welcome to Shepreneur with BC Ugbo and Africa Business Radio, the only show that spotlights African women succeeding in their craft with a view to understanding their processes and celebrating their ingenuity. So, welcome to the show. On the trivia today, I will be starting a series on self-care. In my definition, self-care simply means taking care of yourself so that you can be healthy, well, and able to do things not just for yourself, but for others. It means anything you do to take care of yourself so you can be physically, mentally, and emotionally well, which helps you live longer and better equipped to manage stress. Self-care comes in different forms, such as emotional, physical, and spiritual, which I will be handling extensively next week. However, it's important that we take time to ponder on how we can take care of ourselves for a more productive life and an overall well-being. I'll be taking a break now. When I come back, we take the next segment. Stay with us. Welcome back to She Motivates. You're still listening to Shepreneur with BC Ugbo and Africa Business Radio. And today, we want to celebrate Tabitha Karanja from Kenya. Tabitha's success story is that of resilience and fortitude. The 51-year-old is the founder and CEO of the only large-scale brewery in Kenya owned by a Kenyan. She launched Karanja breweries in 1997, initially making fortified wine and later moving into spirits, and from 2008 beer. Tabitha ventured into a territory where a few before her dared to, breaking gender stereotypes and taking on East African Breweries, EAB, an international company that had monopolized the Kenyan market for more than 90 years. EAB's dominance had Tabitha struggling to find distributors willing to sell her beer, but she continued pressing until the market responded to her main beer brand, Summit. Summit is now so appreciated in the country that last year Tabitha opened a $29 million expansion of his brewery. As Karanja enjoys continued growth, Tabitha plans to expand into neighboring countries including Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda. These women, inspire me every day to dare, to dream, to pursue, to be resilient. Like, I am really, really inspired, and I hope you are as well. I'll take a break now. When I come back, I go into the Shira segment of Shepreneur with BC Ugbo and Africa Business Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the Shira segment. You're still listening to Shepreneur with BC Ugbo and Africa Business Radio. And like I always say, a Shiro is a hero without a cape. And today, I have with me a mental health advocate, a certified life coach, Neuro-Linguistics programming therapist, and emotional freedom technique and matrix reimprinting therapist. She has a first degree in accountancy and a master's degree in financial decision analysis from the University of Portsmouth, United Kingdom. She's known as the Soul Doctor, equipped to help people overcome abuse and trauma, boost self-confidence and esteem, and develop relationship skills. Welcome with me, Jola-Grace Emmanuel.
Hi. Welcome. Thanks so much for having me, BC.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm really happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a privilege.
Yes, this is going to be a very deep and emotional conversation, because you'll be helping people through your vulnerability. And I'm glad that you have agreed to do this.
Thank you.
Yeah, but before we start, so I wanted us to talk about surviving a narcissistic partner. You have been in such a relationship and you have survived. It's been a tough one, yes, but you have survived. But before I go into your experience, I want you to give us like a little definition of what narcissism means so that people who are listening would sort of understand the conversation.
Thank you so much, BC. Thank you for having me today. It's always an opportunity to talk about this. I had to come to the place where I was confident enough to talk about what I've been through, because it's actually not a joke. It was painful, but I thank God because I've gone through the healing process, and now I can show my scar to the world without feeling any sense of shame or guilt. So back to your question, who is a narcissist? A narcissist is a person who has an excessive interest in or admiration of themselves. So a narcissist is someone who is full of themselves. They have an exaggerated opinion of their own importance. They feel the world revolves around themselves. They feel they're the most intelligent person in the world. They're always correct. They never get anything wrong. Anything that goes wrong is other people's fault, is not their fault. So they carry a chip on their shoulder, and they just feel that they are God's gift to the world.
Wow.
You want me to keep going on?
Oh, no, that's fine. I sort of have a sense of what you're talking about. So, but I know that you went through long periods of oppression in your marriage, to the extent that you became suicidal.
Absolutely.
What was going on in your head at the time?
I felt useless. I felt worthless. I felt I was a problem in the world, that my existence, my being alive, created a problem in the world, that my being there was causing people pain. So I felt, what's the point? I'd rather just take my life. And also the pain was a lot. So this is too much pain. I think if I just die, the pain will go away and everybody can go on, and at least the problem is gone, because that was the way I felt. That was the way I was made to feel, that I am a problem. And I was actually told that almost every day, that you are a problem in my life.
By your partner?
Oh, yes.
Wow. Wow. Sometimes when we hear stories like this, people around often find it difficult to believe you because they don't see what you see. In your relationship, were the people around you treated differently from you? Was it easy to convince them that you were going through all the stuff you were going through?
Absolutely not, because a narcissist is an expert in gaslighting. They are expert manipulators. They are what you would call an evil genius. They are smart. You need to give that to them. They are intelligent. But their intelligence, they use it to perpetrate evil. They use it in a negative way. So they can manipulate you. They can look at you. Maybe you're wearing a blue shirt, and they'll look at you and tell you, you're actually wearing a red shirt. And like, what do you mean this is blue? No, it's not blue, it's red. And by the time they are done with you, you will say, it's true, I'm wearing a red shirt. So they're expert manipulators, and they are so swift and so smooth that even in public, they can smile at you, and they can, even say nice things to you when other people are there. But once it's just you and them alone, the beast in them comes out. The monster in them comes out. And it's difficult for you to say to people, this is what this person is doing to me, because they'll be like, no, now, I mean,
is it not this nice person?
This nice person that we see all the time, saying all these nice things about you, posting these nice things about you. And they perpetrate the abuse in secret. They thrive in secrecy. They isolate you as well, making sure that you don't have close friends, you don't have close relatives. I mean, you're not close to your relatives or your siblings, because if you get to talk too much, you'll probably be seeing that something is wrong. So they make you believe that they are doing this for your own good. Whatever they are doing for you is for your own good. In some instances, they will tell you that I'm hitting you because I love you.
Wow.
And they will kind of have a way to make you believe that, because you get to a place where you start making excuses for them. Saying, it's not really like that. In fact, you will blame yourself and say, it's my fault. It's because I offended him. I should have kept quiet. I shouldn't have answered back.
Jeez.
So you begin to put all the blame on yourself, that it is my fault. That is why he's doing this. Or that is why he's doing that. It's actually not him, it's me. And those are the kind of things that make you degenerate to a place where you feel, what's the point of living? I'd rather just die.
Wow. That is really, really so deep. So deep. But let me ask you, did you see any form of signs before this relationship became what it is? And you were there for a couple of years.
16 years.
16 years under such an abuse. Did you see the signs before?
Yes. I mean, I married really early. So at that point, we didn't have a lot of this. There was really no social media. I think it was Facebook, but it was, how Facebook was like in 2001, So there wasn't a lot of talks about relationship, marriage and everything. It was just what the religious institution told you, which wasn't really anything practicable, at the end of the day. But of course, I saw some instances which, benefit of hindsight, I could say, that happened, this happened.
Flags.
But because it was just you, I'm the first daughter, so I don't have an elder sister or a female who I was close to, who I could say, this is what is happening in my relationship, and they could say, that is not normal. So I kind of just felt that everything that was happening was normal. And because he was the only person that was sort of close to me and telling me about relationships, he made me believe that anything that he does is normal.
Wow.
And, I just had to take it. So, but with benefit of hindsight, all of those things were there at the beginning.
While you were going through all of this, was there at any point you had a conversation with probably some of his mentors to, talk him out of the bad behavior? Why are you laughing?
Don't get me started. Okay, so, I said something about narcissists. They isolate you because they thrive in secrecy. Because they also are very aware of their image. They want people to see them as this nice person.
Perception is important.
In fact, let me crack this joke. There was a day, because, he had a TV station and it was on here. One of the day was a live program. And he was just talking and he says, in fact, I'm going to give my wife 500K. She can go to any country of her choice to go for holidays, blah, 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 blah. I was thinking in my mind, like, now, wow. You've never something. You're just saying that for the camera. So I said, this one that you said,
I will collect
it. So I collected. I told him, where's the 500K? I collected it, and I went to New York. And of course, he didn't give me money for shopping or any other thing. But I still made sure, because I'm like, why will you go on here and made everybody to think that you are like the best man in the world? But you are not. You're just saying this for your own good. So they have that kind of desire to make sure that people see them in a good way. So even people that are supposed to be their mentors, they choose them
by themselves.
So they will not go to people that they know that we tell them, guy, what you're doing is wrong. So he's trying to relate with people over time, but once they get to know who the kind of person he is, they kind of just cut back. And he doesn't even also want to. There are so many people that he said, I don't want you to relate to this person again, because people are telling him, the way you're treating your wife is wrong. People look up to you in this sector that you are. How can you be doing that? So there's one particular person that I think I really don't want to go into that, but for me, I feel if somebody has been beating his wife, abusing his wife in every kind of abuse, financial abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, I would say sexual abuse as well, because I believe a husband can rape the wife.
Yeah, I agree.
Every kind of abuse. And they've been telling you the mentor for 16 years and nothing has changed. And in fact, it has become worse, because the thing about abuse is it aggravates by time as time goes on. So it can start with
just
maybe somebody just slapping you today, and next time it will be 2 punches. And maybe they're just telling you your head is not correct, you are stupid today. And the next time it will be graver words. It just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing like that. So answering your question, this mentor, of course, I've gone to him. He's called us for counseling several times. We'll talk all day, and, it will just be, keep praying. Okay, what does he want? Do what he wants, blah, 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 blah. And the ones that will see sense and caution him, he cuts off from them.
Wow. You've given us like a peek into the sort of abuse. You've gone through all of that. But how does it happen that you're abused, probably physically or emotionally or sexually? And what's the time frame to when you make up and continue thinking it will change? Do you get the abuse and then you say, I'm done, and then he begs? Take us through the process.
I actually do wish, I was just telling you that there was a hangout. I'm just coming from PH this weekend, and I was with a group of ladies that had similar experiences, and we told our stories. And sometimes it's slightly different for the women. Some of them were crazily in love with a man. Maybe he was tall, handsome, blah, 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 blah. He had money. Some of them, their exes are billionaires, so there was something, for them to kind of hold on to. And some of them also, we hit you and start apologizing and tell you, I'm so sorry, I don't know what came over me, blah, 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 blah. But in my case, this guy was never sorry for anything. So if there was an issue, there would just be a period of malice keeping, you know.
And then everything goes back to normal.
And then after a while, it would just be, where is that file? No, it's over there. And then, you know, just little by little like that, everything will just become normal.
So what kept you for that long?
What kept me for that long? I would say hope. I was hoping that there would be a change. And at that point in time, I was actually also a bit ignorant because I didn't know that. For so many years, I didn't know I was in an abusive relationship to start with. I just felt, okay, it was a difficult marriage, you know. Keep praying, keep being submissive, blah, 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 blah. It will change. Do this. If I start telling you the things I did, all in a bid to get him to change and be nice, you'll be like, are you okay?
Wow.
You know, but
I can imagine.
at that point in time, you're just thinking, and then because of where I was brought up, you know, you were brought up going into marriage to say, okay, marriage is forever. As a woman, submit to your husband, you know, and then they will tell you things like a wise woman built up her home and all of that.
I know.
BS, excuse my French.
Oh my God.
You know, so all of those things sat inside my head and I felt this must work. You know, it must work. We will pray. We will do all that
God
prayer.
Will answer.
Everything God will answer. There's nothing God cannot do. But abuse, let me just say this. Domestic abuse is not a religious issue. Because if somebody's partner kills someone, maybe he was driving so fast and knocked somebody down, the pastors are not going to come there and say, leave him, you know, let's pray. Blah, blah. No, it's a criminal offense.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to go to court and everything like that. So domestic abuse is a legal issue. So I don't know, you know, why sometimes we behave as if it is not. You know, so it's important for us to actually also have that at the back of our mind. So he never really came back and said, I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. Everything just sort of one way just goes back to normal and then something else happens. You know, but why did I stay for so long? Like I said, hope. And even though it was hard, it was tough, I actually do say that I made a very big mistake. That was a big mistake of marrying him because I shouldn't have, with benefit of hindsight. But I'm still grateful to God because I have 3 beautiful children.
Yeah.
You know, and I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. So yes, I was there as well because of the children, because the society will keep saying, think about the children. What about the children? You know, these children need you. Blah, 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 blah. So I kind of felt, I can't, you know, I have to be here because of my children. The children need the father, the mother. But my elder brother said something to me one day. He said, people keep saying, think about the children. Now, what do children need to grow up, you know, in a way they're supposed to grow up, you know, and be, or they're supposed to be in a stable environment? They need an environment of peace, an environment of tranquility. They need an environment where they can learn, you know, where their mind is at rest. Now, you are in a toxic environment, you're in an abusive relationship, and the children can't even sleep with their both eyes. Because any moment from now, they can start hearing mommy crying. You know, we carry energy around us as human beings. And you will enter a house, the children feel the negative energy in that house. They feel the strife. They do. Whether they see it or not, they know. Now, I normally say this, that my last son is 12 now. I don't know. I think he's just, I call him an old man in a young man's body because he's so intuitive and sensitive. Every single time that there's just been an issue and I'm sat somewhere just brooding, this boy will run to me, give me a big hug, peck me and just run back. And I'm like, are you for real?
Your angel.
So that aura is there. That environment is there. Children can pick it up.
They pick it up.
So you're staying there because of the children, but these children are growing up in a dysfunction environment.
Yeah.
I've heard of cases where the children have, in fact, there is a sister that the daughter attempted suicide because of the abuse going on in the home. There's another one that the son beat the father up the man was bleeding. People were holding him. He said, no, let me beat him. That's the way he used to beat my mother.
Oh my God.
So which one is better? Bringing up children in that toxic environment, or being with one parent where there is peace, there is calmness, there is love, they can feel the energy, they can grow, they can sleep calmly at night knowing that everything is fine, they are not worried. So which one is better? And it is unfortunate because our society, we are so blinded by our culture that we actually don't reason and say, okay, actually, what's actually good for these children? Not the fact that they should be in a toxic environment, the father and the mother are
because
there.
The father
and
the
they see
there.
all these things. They pick up the abuses, because children learn by what they see, not what you tell them.
True.
So, I mean, I stayed there because of that, because I was ignorant. I didn't know that it wasn't actually good for them. And of course the society, the culture, the religion that I was in. Yeah.
What was the breaking point for you? When did you decide to either leave or die?
Right. In 2016, because I did also mention that these people make sure they isolate you. So I didn't have friends. Wasn't able to relate. Even my family, my siblings. I remember after I left, I was like, we felt that you are a snob, you don't participate in family activities, blah, blah, blah. We didn't realize that this was what was going on. Because this person will make sure that if there's a family function, it won't say you're not going. I mean, you will have discussed it and everything. It would, when the day and the time comes, it was just, they are manipulators. Just remember that something needs to be done. And there was something is urgent somewhere until the old day goes and they are not able to go.
Wow.
So, nobody in my family knew what was going on. Absolutely nobody. But because I'm not allowed to discuss what happens in this home with anybody else, even if I'm dying and all of that. But in 2016, something happened. I can't remember what exactly happened, and they started throwing things, and because I knew the progression. I knew when the beating will start. It starts with, it tells you to do something and you don't do it. It's because it will say things like, if you can't do what I ask you to do, then get out of my life.
Really?
You're a problem in my life, those kind of things. So there was a lot of violence going on. It hadn't hit me, but it was throwing things around in the room. I mean, it was breaking stuff. So I ran out. And I called one of my own mentors, who also has been talking to him. And she was like, Jola, is your dad still alive? I said, yes, ma. Give me your daddy's number. So he rang my dad and he says, if you want your daughter to be alive, you need to go and take her out of that place.
Wow.
So that was the first time my parents we know. So my dad called me, and of course they were heartbroken. And because my dad never actually wanted me to marry, he didn't like the guy. Well, being his first daughter, he just wanted me to make me happy. He said, okay, well, if that's what you want, we'll support you and everything like that. So of course, I went back to my parents' house then for about 3 weeks. I was there. Of course, he came with his parents, apologized, they're sorry, he won't do that again. I remember my dad even saying he must write an undertaking and all of that. But after all of that, I went back. But there was still no change. But as at that time, I really, really thank God for my dad. He's a true father. And Dad, if you're listening, I want to give a shout out to you. I just love you so much. Aww. Because I probably would have been dead if I didn't have the kind of father I had. So he would call me and check on me, how we're doing, what's going on. I was like, I'm tired, but still, you encourage me and everything. But then a particular incident happened one day where it wasn't even the physical abuse. The day I made up my mind that was it. It was a verbal abuse in public. Like, wow. He shamed me in public.
Wow.
And it was as if something broke, you have a rubber band and maybe you keep pulling that rubber band and pulling it. But that day the rubber band just broke. It snapped. So I just picked up my phone and said, Dad, I can't stay here again. I'm tired. And my dad said, where are you? I'm going to send a car to pick you up. End of story.
Imagine.
My dad didn't ask me.
What happened?
Can we talk about it? Can we pray? Blah, 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 blah. No, he didn't say it. He just said, and that was it. Because for me, and again, I didn't plan that, okay, this day I will leave. Even though I knew in my mind that this is wrong and eventually I will have to leave. Thinking about how I'll leave. Because again, in a relationship like that, they cage you financially. You know, you're saying, okay, I studied accounting, I have a master's, but I was never allowed to work. So I had to depend on him for everything. So he knew that there's no way I could say I'm going anywhere because I didn't have money, I didn't have savings, I didn't have anything I could, you know, fall back to. You know, so it was even not something I would think that, okay, I have like 5 million somewhere, I would just plan, I would just go
get
back.
a house somewhere.
Exactly. So that wasn't there. But that day I just went, I think it was just God, because I was just like, I'm tired. Like, no, this is it. That's it. It's over. Like, over, you know. And I thank God for my parents. They supported me through it. My mom came, you know, picked me up, you know, everything. And, you know, that was it. And of course, war broke out after that, but I didn't really care because I was out of it. And my dad stays until tomorrow. I'd rather have a divorced daughter than a dead daughter. And I'm just so grateful to God for my dad and my mom, because they didn't allow culture to blind them. Because I've heard of cases where the daughter would complain and the parents would say, oh, just stay there. How will people hear?
Do you know what I went through?
How will people hear? And you know, I had a lot of people, you know, call me and say, people that we look up to in the society, and say, you know, these things happen now, just be managing it. Some people are going through worse. I'm like, seriously? I asked one of them, you know, who was a man, who was telling me that, hey, I believe this marriage can work. I said, excuse me, sir, if I was your daughter, I mentioned your daughter's name, what advice will you give me? And the man said, let's leave my daughter out of this. What? I'm like, seriously? I'm not somebody's daughter. Like, I dropped from the sky, or I just evolved. Like, I don't have origin.
You appeared.
I just, you know, appeared. I'm like, okay. So, I mean, the society doesn't really help, you know, but I thank God that people are being enlightened on these things, because people are dying.
Jola, I'm having goosebumps already. But we'll take a break now. When we come back, Jola-Grace Emmanuel will help us with the signs of a narcissist and how we can avoid them. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still listening to Shipreneur with BC Ugo on Africa Business Radio, and I still have Jola-Grace Emmanuel. It's been quite enlightening listening to you, having this very deep conversation on all the things that you've been through in the hands of a narcissistic partner. But I want to ask you, for the benefit of young people who are listening right now, what are the signs that we could look out for in any relationship? What signs should we avoid when we see?
Thank you so much for that. This is part of the things that I've decided to do, because I do have a physical scar on my left shoulder, which I had cancerous tumors there a few years ago, and which again was a result of the things I've went through, because even the surgeons were like, they've never seen that before on your shoulder, and that sort of signifies that you are carrying stuff on your shoulder. So what I resolved to do was, you know, and then I had this feeling that I needed to start allowing people to see my scars so I can help them. You know, so I've been scarred emotionally, and it took time for me to be able to come out and talk like this, you know, but I know that my pain is not in vain. And that I must use my pain to help people. So I'm actually committed. So part of the things I do as a soul doctor and as a life coach is to mentor young ladies and help them to have healthy self-esteem. Because when that is there, you'll be able to see things better. Because, you know, sometimes other people around you can tell you, something is wrong here, you know, but you can't see it because you feel, I'm in love. I'm in love, and this is huge, you know, for a guy like this to be in love with me. You don't know what it means. And then you tell everybody that they are jealous. It's because they are jealous. You know, they don't have this fine guy or this guy that is the leader of this or that, you know, and they are jealous of you, but they can't see what you're not seeing. But when you have a healthy self-esteem and you have an avenue to discuss, you know, things that is happening around you with people you can trust, then you can save yourself from a lot of these things, you know. So I'm really so happy that you asked this question. Now, so first of all, you have to have a healthy self-esteem as a person. You know, you must feel good about yourself. You can't wait for somebody else to make you feel good.
You must love yourself.
You must love yourself. And you can't love yourself until you know yourself. So you know yourself, discover yourself, sit down with yourself, have a one-on-one meeting with yourself. I normally call it a gym war meeting. I'll say, Jola, come sit down. Let's talk. You know, have a one-on-one meeting with yourself. Who am I? What do I like? What do I love? You know, I didn't really, like I said, I got married really young, so I didn't really know who I was. I didn't know myself. I remember somebody asking me a question. If you asked into the marriage, I was like, Jola, what's your purpose in life? I was like, Paul, what's that? What's Paul? Paul what? Said nothing. It's just to, and because he was there as well. So it's just, whatever is his purpose, it's just for me to support him. And the person looked at me in dismay, like, what? This one is not okay. Well, I didn't know. I was so ignorant. I didn't know nothing then. So you discover yourself. You love yourself. You know what your purpose is. Purpose before relationship. Purpose before you can think of marriage. Because, you know, I normally say that it's like marriage is a relationship. You're just jumping on a ship with someone. You want to go somewhere with someone. And if you don't know where you are going, you don't have a destination. Your destination is not clear. So, I mean, if we finish this interview now and I jump out and say, oh, BC, can you give me a ride? And you're like, where are you going? I say, I don't really know. Let's just go. You know, you'd be like, oh, this one, she's not okay. What happened? You know? So I need to know where you're going. So if you are going in an opposite direction of where I'm going, it will still be stupid of me to jump in the car with you because someone is going to suffer. You know, is it that you first of all take me to where I'm going or you come back or, you know. So a lot of times people need to discover themselves, love themselves, know their purpose, where they are going before they even start thinking of who is going to go with them. Because if you don't have all of that, and this person comes into your life who is a narcissist, the person will be telling you what they think that you should be doing. But because you don't know what they think your purpose is because you don't know, you will just flow with them. Now, one of the signs of a narcissist is they are, like I said, when I define narcissism, is that these people are full of themselves. So when you meet them, they start talking about themselves. Actually, last year I graduated from Harvard University. You know what I'm talking about. You know, and then I just got like another car. I've got a G-Wagon outside, and it's just all about them. Bloody, they just talk. And anytime you try to say, hey, me too, I went to and then so that when I finished from Harvard, I went to Yale. They don't give you an opportunity to talk about you. They don't even give you an opportunity to talk about yourself. They don't ask about you. It's just all about them. And they make you feel that the fact that they're in a relationship with you, they are doing you a favor. And they drive that into your head. I remember I was told, because, you know, I said he had a TV station, then he used to tell me that I should be lucky that's involving me in his TV station. Like I should count myself lucky. You understand? So whatever skills or whatever strength you have, they will never allow you to talk about it. Even if you say it, they will not say anything. They will not acknowledge it. They will only talk about themselves and what they are good at and what they want to do and their vision. And it's all about them and them and them and them. Narcissists don't know how to apologize. They will not say sorry. Even though they've done something wrong to you, they will just find a way of, you know, crawling out of that environment, making you feel, in fact, you will apologize to them for what they have did done wrong. Yeah, you will. They will make you apologize to them for what they did wrong. They don't have feelings. They don't have empathy. I remember an incident where, this is a funny one. We were dressing up and going somewhere, and he came out of the bathroom, and I normally say, oh, please dry your feet on the bath mat. But he wouldn't. So he just came out with water, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying. So I was walking in the room and I slipped. And I hit my head on the floor. I actually blacked out. This guy did not come to where I was. What? I laid on the floor for 5 minutes. He did not come there. Wow. I'm telling you the truth.
Till you found your way up.
Till I was just able to
open your eyes.
Open my eyes, and I got up and he didn't talk to me even throughout, because, you know, narcissists, number one, they don't have empathy, they don't feel. And then when you kind of say something is wrong with you, they think that you're just making it up because you want attention. But on the other hand, oh God, there's just so many things to talk about. Like you said, on the other hand, to outsiders, they will be so, oh, Oh,
so helpful.
They'll be so helpful. They will offer to help. They will offer to do stuff. A narcissist, I know somebody mentioned it earlier on. One of the signs of narcissists is they find it difficult to spend on you. They have money. Or they have money. Like I was saying, one of my ladies that we are in the same support group, her husband is a billionaire. But sometimes this lady doesn't have 5,000 naira in her account.
A way
It
to
will
keep
make
you
her
financially
suffer.
dependent.
So those are part of things for you to look out for at the beginning. If the guy knows, in fact, somebody was saying that, okay, women, they love money, is all about relationship. Some women do. I think all of us love money. Let's be sincere, because money answers all things. And well, I'm not a religious person. I'm a person of faith. And the good book says, where your heart is, there your treasure will be also. So, if a man knows that you are in need, because you are in a relationship, you talk about your needs, and the person doesn't offer to meet your need, or you even ask them, and they're like, next week, I'm waiting for some, I'll give you later, and then they just keep postponing it, and they have the money, they have it, they have it, then they are trying to manipulate you and put you down and make you feel as if you need to come crawling on your knees, and because it's fuel for them. Narcissists, they get fuel from doing things to you and making you dependent on them, like you are their life wire. Without you, they can't breathe. I remember when I left, I was telling people that she's gonna come back. She doesn't have any money, she can't do anything, she's gonna come back.
Wow.
I said to myself, yeah, probably, yeah, I don't have any money, but did I drop from the sky? Do I not have a family? Do I not have friends? Yeah, and then they make you feel, they will talk down at you and belittle you. So you come and you say, oh, I remember then, when sometimes I would say, oh, I want to read books and everything, and then I go Audible, and I'll say, I just, read 2 books on my Audible today, and, feeling really good about myself. And
You wouldn't say anything about it?
No.
Wow.
No, they are not interested in your growth. They're not interested in your development.
Wow.
The narcissist will begin to isolate you from your friends. They will tell you negative things about your friends. Oh, that friend, the person doesn't usually like you. I remember then I was accused a lot of, promiscuity. I was accused of sleeping around. So if there's any guy that I was doing anything with, maybe a friend or an associate or an acquaintance, I'm definitely sleeping with the person. And then if it's a lady, the person, she just wants to use you.
She doesn't like
you. Do you think she really likes you? She's not interested in you. So a narcissist will tell you that nobody else loves you apart from them. And then there is manipulation. They will gaslight you. So those are some of the things that you need to watch out for. If this person is always questions everything you do, you are walking on eggshells around them. They just get upset. You don't know what they're upset about. They can just keep quiet and not talk to you.
Or snap.
And you're like, what happened? What did I do? So that you will start coming and say, I'm sorry, whatever it is, I'm really sorry. But you haven't done anything wrong. Wow. But they just need that. They need that from you to keep feeling as if they are superior to you. You must make them happy. They will blame everything that goes wrong on you. So some of those things I need to watch out for. And even words. What are the kind of words that this person is speaking to you? Are the words building you up, or are the words bringing you down? Because at the end of the day, words are really, really important. Words, physical abuse is horrible, it's bad, it can kill people, but verbal and emotional abuse is as equally bad, in fact worse, because this has to do with your mental health. It goes into your head, you start second guessing yourself. They tell you things like you're hallucinating, and they make you second guess yourself to the extent that I know a lot of women that are in mental institutions because of this, because they've been told all sorts of things and they are not sure whether, am I okay? This must be my fault. This thing that's going on in my health. So when you begin to second guess yourself and you're like, I don't even know if they will tell you, oh, you don't really look beautiful, So I met a lady over the weekend. She was really pretty, and I said to her, you're really pretty. She said, oh, I don't feel it. That's because somebody has been telling her that there's nothing good about you. You're just ordinary. And because words are life, words give you life, words can birth something in you. That's why, in our career, we talk about affirmations, affirm yourself, confessions, say these things and then you will become it. So it also works on the flip side. So if you look in the mirror, affirm yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm special, I'm bold, I'm courageous, but on the floor, somebody comes and tell you that you are stupid, you are foolish, you are useless. It also goes out inside your head. Yeah. And then internally you find that you're saying to yourself, I'm cuckoo stupid. I'm foolish. I can't get this thing done. I can't get any job. Nobody likes me. In fact, you start questioning yourself. If you've had children, you start questioning yourself as a mother. I'm sure I'm not a good mother. My children don't even like me. My friends don't. So you question yourself. You second guess yourself. Those are the things I need to watch out for. So there's so much, but I
really know there's so much. But I'll ask you this last question. What is the role of the church and religion in solving this sort of marital issues?
Oh, BC. That question you asked me.
Biko, answer me.
That question you asked me, it's so close to home. It's so close to home. The church and religious organizations and the society and our culture don't help. We are phony. The church, religion, we are not in touch with reality. Because I was right inside of it. The person that I was married to, called himself a pastor. Maybe I should say that. And other people around could not come and say, this is wrong. But rather, they would say, submit. Keep submitting now. Keep praying. My sister, I prayed. Is it prayer? Prayer knew that I prayed him. I prayed that my husband would love me. I confession. I prayed. So, like the example I gave earlier on, somebody knocked somebody down on the road. What are you praying about? Maybe take him to the hospital, get the police involved, do practical things. But when it comes to religion, we don't do practical things. So, narcissistic personality disorder is a mental illness. It is. It is a disease. The person is ill. They can't help themselves.
The person not well.
So one boat don't lose for up. And if that is the case, then this person needs medical attention. I normally ask people this question. Now, let's talk about someone that has psychosis, which is what we call madness here. Yeah. So the person you can obviously see that this person is mad. Their clothes are torn and dirty. And you say, God really wants us to love people and to be nice and to be kind to people. I'm going to take this person into my house and we'll be living together in the same house because I'm supposed to love this person, As a child of God, I have to love. I will pray with the person. I'll say, come, sit and let us pray. I will talk to the person and discuss. I will try and reason with the person. If I tell you that, BC, what will you do?
I think I will have to buy pancake for you, first of all, to be sure that you're okay.
Because why? Because this person is ill. I can't relate with this person on a normal level. They are ill. They need help. So it's the same way with these personality disorders. That person is ill. They will not behave like a normal person. They will not relate with you the way a normal person will relate with you. So why are you putting yourself at risk? Just the same way that guy that has psychosis can one day go into the kitchen, pick up a knife, and just stab you, but doesn't know what he's doing. Or just carry hot water and say, and pour the hot water on your head. He doesn't know what he's doing.
So that's how narcissism is.
Oh yes. You've put yourself at arm's way because you've allowed this guy with psychosis to come and stay with you and you're trying to show love. That's not to show love. Take this guy to the mental hospital. Get help for him. So when you're dealing with someone that has narcissistic personality disorder, you need to deal with them from that knowledge that this person is ill. I will not put myself at arm's way. You are harming yourself mentally and you will eventually harm yourself physically because a lot of physical illnesses, high blood pressure, cancer, and so on and so forth, their results, actually about 90%, there's a lot of bad mental health, and which happens because you are in that toxic environment. So why are you putting yourself at risk? You are in an environment that is damaging to your spirit, can damage your soul, and can damage your body. Why are you still in that environment? Why are you trying to use, religion is good, I mean, no, I'm not religious, so I'll take that back.
Spirituality
is good. Prayer is good. I'm a person of faith. I pray every day. I read my Bible. But I understand that there are some things that you need to take physical step and practical steps.
You need to take action.
You need to take action. You don't be foolish
or
ignorant to put yourself at arm's way. You know, this thing can harm me. This thing can harm people around me. Okay, I'm going to take practical steps. This person should seek help. They need help. It's so bad with narcissistic personality disorder because they don't feel that they've done anything wrong. They are one of the personality disorders that hardly, I will not say that is impossible, but that hardly get cured. Because like they say, you can take a horse to the river, but you can't force a horse to drink water. So a lot of times they actually do not change. Not that they can't change, but a lot of times they don't change because they don't even think anything is wrong with them. They believe the other people are the people that have issues. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you did. You did. Awesome, you did. A lot of people would, want to reach out to you after this because you are a soul doctor now. You're a life coach. And one of your purpose is to help people with your story and help them get out of situations like this. How can we reach you?
Well, on Instagram as Jola-Grace _Belle Moments. That's with a double S. So Jola, JOLAGRACE _ Belle, BELLEMOMENT.
I'll post on my page as well.
Yeah. So and then I'm on Facebook as Jola Emmanuel.
Okay.
I'm on LinkedIn as well as Jola Emmanuel. And you can also send me an email at coachjolagrace @gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Do you need any other information?
No.
Okay.
I'll put all of this information on my page when I'm posting snippets of this interview. So thank you so much for
my pleasure.
Being vulnerable, for sharing with us. Not everybody can come out and share from their own story.
Yeah, I've made up my mind to use my pain for other people's gain. Yeah. Nobody should go through what I've been through. I mean, because if I had the understanding, if I saw, it's amazing how many, in fact, there was a day I posted something on Instagram and she sent me a DM. I actually thought something was funny. I was thinking, are you trying to mock me? Because the story was so similar to mine. And I'm like, I had to tell the person to give me your phone number. I want to talk to you. I want to, actually see whether you are being real or you're just trying to. So it's amazing how many people are going through this.
The same thing.
And they can't even share. They can't even reach out. They can't even help. So I've made up my mind to be there and be committed to help people. Even in my one-on-one coaching, I coach people on one-on-one, take them through, 3 months process initially of helping them develop, finding themselves back. Because I had to find myself. I didn't know who I was. I had to sit down and say, Jola, who are you? There are so many things I'm discovering about myself now that I didn't know was there. And I'm loving it.
Wow.
I'm loving this girl. Like,
wow.
So this is you.
I'm loving you too.
So, but I didn't know. I mean, I was just like into myself all that while, like, what's going on? But now I'm like, oh my goodness, I love her. She's so bubbly and so full of life because she's been able to heal.
Yeah.
And I'm committed to help as many people as possible to heal and even not to get into that situation in the first instance.
I'm happy. I'm so happy with your process.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
And that's all we can take on Shepreneur with BC Ugbo and Africa Business Radio till I come your way again next week. Bye-bye.